Hello, friend, and welcome back to Out Like a Light, the podcast that offers soft stories, affirming meditations, and gentle company for queer hearts and sleepy minds. I'm John Scott, and tonight I'm grateful you are here. Whether you're listening to fall asleep or simply to feel safe, loved, and seen, this space is for you. Each episode is a quiet ritual, a reminder that you're enough just as you are, that your softness is strength, and that your queerness, your identity, your tenderness, your joy is something to be cherished. If you've been here before, welcome back. And if you're new, you found a cozy little world where we leave the harshness of the day behind. We breathe slowly, we listen deeply, and when we're ready, we drift. Tonight's episode will take you far beyond your bedroom, beyond the clouds, past the quiet hush of our atmosphere, and into the stars. We'll begin with a meditation where you'll gently float through space, unburdened and serene. Then I'll read you a story about transformation, belonging, and quiet wonder. You'll follow the life of a tiny tadpole, one who grows up to become a frog that doesn't fit neatly into boxes, but is cherished all the same. There are no ads, no loud surprises, just rest. If you find comfort here, I'd love for you to share Out Like a Light with someone else who might need a little love just before bed. Now, let's get you cozy. Before we begin our story, let's tuck you in. Make yourself comfortable. Let the weight of the day melt away. Feel the warmth of your blankets like a cocoon made just for you. Now, gently close your eyes or soften your gaze. Take a slow, deep breath in and out. Let's do that again. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. And now, begin to imagine you're drifting far, far away from the earth. You've left behind your to-do lists, your worries, your labels. You've slipped quietly into the silence of space. Out here, there's no gravity, nothing pulling at you, just a slow, calm drift. You're wrapped in a soft, warm suit, safe and secure. With a gentle pulse of light at your chest, you're floating like a feather in the dark, peaceful, unhurried. Below you, the earth is is glowing like a marble, spinning gently in the distance. You can just make out the curve of the oceans, the swirl of the clouds. It's beautiful, but it feels so far away now. Up here, among the stars, everything is quiet. There's no timeline, no need to prove anything. There's only this moment. You pass a cloud of stardust that shimmers like glitter. A soft pulse of light drifts by, a little comet humming with sleepy energy. You float past them with ease, like you're a part of the cosmos, like you belong here, because you do. The stars wink at you as you pass, not demanding, just present. Each one feels like a tiny heartbeat, a quiet promise. You are stardust. You are water. You are wonder. There is nothing wrong with you. In this vastness, you are free to be whatever you are, whoever you are, however you feel. All of it is okay. All of it belongs. You spin slowly in this soft ballet, not moving on your own, just held by space itself. Let your breath slow with the rhythm of the stars. Inhale gently and exhale even more slowly. One more time. In and out. Feel your body relax even more deeply. Your chest softens. Your shoulders grow heavy. Your mind grows quiet. You're not falling. You're floating. You're safe. Let the stars cradle you as you drift deeper into comfort. And now, let's begin our story. There once was a pond, so quiet and still, it reflected the sky as perfectly as a mirror. Trees rimmed the edge like sleepy guardians, and dragonflies stitched the lazy spirals through the summer air. Beneath the surface, in the dappled light, lived a speck of life no bigger than a comma. This speck wiggled, curled, darted. It was a tadpole, new, soft, and curious. It had no notion of gender, of expectations, or of the world beyond its warm waters. It simply was. Days passed like silk. The tadpole learned the rhythms of the pond, how sunlight warmed the stones at noon, how moonlight glittered on the algae like tiny stars, how it felt to float with the lily pads or to hide beneath the moss when the shadows passed overhead. The tadpole changed slowly, as all things do. Legs sprouted, then arms. The tail thinned, lungs blossomed. Breath became easier above water, and still the pond held it gently, like a lullaby in liquid form. Other frogs emerged. They croaked, they puffed their chests, they sang for mates. Some danced, some sat still as statues. Each had their own way. But this frog, our little one, felt no urgency to sing, no need to puff or prove. Their body was strong, their limbs were sure. But the roles whispered through instinct didn't quite settle right. Instead, they found joy in quieter things. They leapt not to impress, but to feel the arc of the air. They basked in the sunlight not to display, but to soak in stillness. And at night, while the others called out into the dark, they floated alone, belly to sky, watching the stars ripple in the water. They did not mind being alone, because in those quiet moments, they remembered something from before they had legs, before they had lungs. That the sky and the pond weren't so different. Both were deep, full of mystery. Both held creatures learning how to be. Seasons turned, and with them, the frog turned too. Sometimes they felt very frog. Sometimes they felt neither. Some days they felt soft and hidden. Others, bold and bright. But never just one thing. And never quite what the others expected. One twilight, while the breeze sang through the cattails, the frog sat beside a pool of warm rainwater and gazed at their reflection. Their colors had changed again, shifting slightly in shade. Their body felt new in subtle ways, as if rearranged from the inside. There was no fear, only curiosity. This had happened before, slowly over weeks. Shifts in skin, in patterns, in feelings. Somewhere deep in their knowing, the frog understood. They were changing in more ways than one. Because in the natural world, some frogs could change their biological sex. Not all, and not always. But sometimes, when the balance of the pond shifted, when nature called for harmony, certain frogs transformed. Not just how they looked, but how they were built. Frogs did not ask why. They simply followed the rhythm of life. And so did this frog. One day they woke, and their body aligned with something new. A another day, it shifted again, and they flowed with it like water, neither resisting nor rushing. It felt right to be fluid, not fixed. Not everyone in the world above the pond would understand, but the frogs did, the turtles did, even the pond itself did, because this was nature too. There was no ceremony, no announcement, just the quiet unfolding of a life. They weren't a boy frog or a girl frog. Not always. They were something in between or beyond. A frog of the in-between spaces of dusk and dawn, of tide and sky. And that truth was held gently in the cool pond water and whispered through the reeds like a secret lullaby. They met other creatures, snails with spirals that turned both ways, butterflies whose wings bore scars and still flew beautifully, other frogs who, too, felt not quite either, but entirely themselves. They weren't alone. On a crisp spring evening, the frog climbed onto a stone to rest. The stars had begun to peek through the velvet sky. A breeze whispered across the pond's surface, and the frog closed their eyes. And in that moment, still and shining, they felt their heart beat in rhythm with the stars. They were not a mistake, not incomplete, not uncertain. They were stardust and pond water, transformation and stillness. They were becoming, and that was enough. The frog did not need words to know this. It was something their cells remembered, something that stars had always known. And as the world turned gently onward, the frog rested in their body, exactly as it was. The stars above and the pond below held them in equal measure. And in that quiet, perfect balance, the frog drifted to sleep.